Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving into a story that completely overthrew centuries of scientific thought. It's a big one, and it forces us to ask a really fundamental question about, well, everything.
All right, so this is it. This is the big question. Is the universe a perfect, predictable machine, or is it more like a giant game of chance? A cosmic lottery, where the rules are kind of made up as we go along. That's what we're going to get into.
You know, for the longest time, there was really only one answer to that question, the clockwork idea. And this quote here, from the brilliant Pierre-Simon Laplace, just captures it perfectly. The idea that if you knew enough, nothing would be uncertain. The future, the past, it would all be right there in front of you. This wasn't just some fringe idea. It was the bedrock of science. And it all came down to a really powerful thought experiment. So let's start there, with this old school view of the universe as a giant, intricate clock. It's a beautiful idea, right? And it makes sense. Everything happens for a reason, following a set path. What happens is the only thing that could have possibly happened.
And this is the thought experiment I was talking about, Laplace's demon. I mean, just imagine a mind, an intellect, so vast it can know the precise location and momentum of every single particle in the entire universe at one single instant. For an intellect like that, there's no such thing as chance. Probability? That's just a word for what we don't know. To the demon, a coin toss isn't random. It's just physics. The outcome was set in stone the moment the universe began.
But you know how these things go? This perfect clockwork machine? Well, it started to show some cracks. And what's interesting is this happened long before we even started talking about quantum mechanics. The problems were there, hiding in plain sight. And here's the really important part. These early challenges, they didn't kill the idea of a predictable universe. They just attacked our ability to predict it. Think about thermodynamics. It gave us the arrow of time. You can shatter a teacup, but you can't unshatter it. Information gets lost. Then you have chaos theory with the famous butterfly effect. A tiny, tiny change in the beginning, so small you could never measure it, leads to a wildly different outcome down the line. So the universe could still be a perfect machine, right? It just meant that we, as humans, could never possibly know enough to predict it. Laplace's demon was still possible in theory, it was just blindfold. But then came the real game changer, the real revolution. The knockout punch came from the quantum world. And this wasn't just about blinding the demon, this was about asking if the demon could even exist in the first place. This launched what is honestly one of the biggest, most mind-bending debates in all of science. Okay, so here's where things get really weird. Werner Heisenberg and his uncertainty principle. And let me be super clear. This isn't about our equipment not being good enough. It's not about measurement error. Heisenberg proved that nature itself has a built-in fuzziness. You literally cannot know a particle's exact position and its exact momentum at the same time. It's a fundamental rule of the universe. The more precisely you nail down one, the fuzzier the other becomes. And that, right there, is a dagger to the heart of Laplace's demon. Its core job, knowing everything precisely, is physically impossible. Now, you can probably guess that not everyone was on board with this, especially not Albert Einstein. He absolutely hated this idea of built-in randomness. His famous line, "God does not play dice with the universe," says it all. For Einstein, this quantum fuzziness just meant our theory was incomplete. There had to be something deeper, something we were missing. And this sets up the big showdown, Einstein versus Niels Bohr. Einstein's camp, called local realism, basically said this randomness is just an illusion. There have to be hidden variables, things we can't see yet, that determine everything beforehand. His favorite analogy was a pair of gloves. Imagine you put a left glove in one box and a right in another, and you ship one to the other side of the galaxy. The moment you open your box and see a left glove, you instantly know the other one is right. But it's not magic. It was always a right glove. You just didn't know it. Bohr, on the other hand, said nope. The randomness is real. The particle isn't a left or right glove until you open the box and measure it. Before that, it's just a cloud of possibilities. And for decades, that's where it stood. A huge philosophical argument with no way to test it. That is, until 1964. A physicist named John Stuart Bell came along and did something absolutely brilliant. He figured out a way to take this philosophical argument out of the coffee shops and into the laboratory. He designed an actual physical experiment to settle the debate once and for all. And this is his masterpiece, Bell's theorem. Without getting lost in the math, here's the genius of it.
Bell proved that if Einstein's hidden gloves were real, then the results of certain experiments with entangled particles would have to stay below a specific mathematical limit. But if quantum mechanics and its true randomness were correct, the results would break past that limit. It was a clear line in the sand. For the first time, we could actually ask the universe, Einstein or Bohr, which one is it?
And when they ran the experiments, wow, the results were just crystal clear. The limit, the line in the sand that Einstein's view could not cross, was a value of 2. Quantum mechanics predicted the result could go all the way up to about 2.82. So what did the experiments find? Time and time again, the number came in around 2.82. Nature had spoken. Bell's inequality was violated. Quantum mechanics was right. This was really the final nail in the coffin for the clockwork universe. By 2015, physicists had run these incredible, loophole-free experiments that closed off any and every possible way Einstein's view could still be true. It was over. The gloves in a box idea was wrong. The randomness at the heart of reality is absolutely real. So, where does that leave us? What do we do with this strange new truth? Well, it turns out that this fundamental randomness isn't a flaw. It's not a bug. It's actually a feature, and a seriously powerful one that we can now harness and engineer. Okay, so let's look at how this works in the real world. Think about random number generators. Most of the randomness your computer uses is totally fake. It's pseudo-random. It's just a complex algorithm that looks random but is completely predictable if you know the starting point. Then you have true random generators that use physical noise, which is better but still, in theory, predictable. But then you have quantum random number generators, or QRNGs. These tap directly into the fundamental randomness of the universe. They produce a stream of numbers that is physically, fundamentally impossible to predict. It's the real deal. And believe me, this matters a lot. Because there's this massive threat on the horizon that people are calling Y2Q, or Q-Day. It's the day when a powerful quantum computer is finally built that can shatter most of the encryption we rely on to protect, well, everything online. Our bank accounts, our private messages, government secrets. And this has kicked off a massive global race to quantum-proof our world. And there are two main ways we're trying to do it. All right, so the first strategy is post-quantum cryptography, or PQC. This is basically a software fix. We're creating new encryption based on math problems that we think are too hard for even a quantum computer to solve. It's based on an assumption of difficulty. The second strategy is totally different. It's called quantum key distribution, or QKD. This isn't a software patch. It requires new hardware. And its security isn't based on a math problem we hope is hard. It's based on the fundamental laws of physics we've been talking about. It uses the very nature of quantum mechanics to guarantee a secret key is safe. And this brings us full circle to what I think is a really beautiful and profound paradox at the heart of this whole story. It completely flips our old way of thinking on its head. Think about it. For hundreds of years, we thought that control and power came from being able to predict everything perfectly. That was the goal. But the quantum revolution came along and told us, sorry, the universe is fundamentally unpredictable. And yet, by accepting that, by embracing that irreducible randomness, we've managed to build the most secure, most controlled systems of information in human history. So what if the future not being written is precisely what makes it secure? We had to let go of this old dream of a predictable clockwork universe. And in exchange, we got the ability to create true, unbreakable secrets. It's an incredible trade-off. It seems that the universe's randomness isn't a bug after all. It's its greatest feature.